Night, the show whose arms are stronger now. I'm William Bush, Reploid Bill, and let's go around the chairs.
Shane McCree, Proto Guy.
I'm Jeremy.
That's Jeremy.
So, let's get this one out of the way real quick. If you would like to see any other content that we produce, fandomnight.com. That'll give you all contact information and everything else. But today, we are continuing the video game legacy. And today is Tomb Raider 1, 1996. Right?
Correct.
Oh boy!
It was fun watching Bill play this game.
I would say that first we pick a version, but even if there are multiple versions, you can obviously see that we are playing the PlayStation version. So now that that's out of the way, first Shane sees his game.
Shane starts this off by seeing the game. Wow. You know, a game that came out...
This is 96. This is before Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, well, you know, a game that came out...
It's before Metal Gear, right?
Yeah, Metal Gear was 98.
Metal Gear was 98.
Yeah, that's right.
That's 98 was also Final Fantasy VIII. I'm trying to think of games around this point that... No, it was 98. I'm almost positive.
99, promise you.
You guys sure?
Oh, come on.
Regardless, this was one of the first PlayStation games
Yes, it
I
was.
played.
Yes, it was. And, you know, for the game releasing damn near 20 years ago, I've seen worse games now, you know, that I think graphically, did it age right? I mean, did it age properly? I mean, I'm saying I've seen worse. I mean, it's definitely not the worst game I've seen 20 years later on a PS1. So...
Okay, well, the first thing you see
that
is
being-
CGI.
This is true.
Yes.
The opening cinematic is all CGI, and even then, I'm seeing like the splits. How much like their arms aren't actually connected. You get what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I understand what you're getting
3D
at.
imaging at the time.
Right.
Okay, you know what? For the time,
Well, what are you pointing at?
he's just trying to tell you what Final Fantasy is.
Okay. That's great. Let's swing our edicts some more in here. But yes, you are right. It was 99.
I don't, whatever. I'm always right. For its time, the CGI was, you know what? I mean, I would assume that it was good. You know, you're not seeing too many CGI games in '97. I mean, before '96. You know what I mean? You know,
I don't know about that.
I mean, how many... The PlayStation 1 came out in 95. This game came out a year after its initial release. So how many games that, you know...
We were already seeing, not necessarily complete CGI, but we were already seeing some stuff with the N64, weren't we?
Oh man, you're asking me about something that's really hard for me to remember.
It wouldn't have been magnificent. And then if you go even further than that, the PC probably has an awful lot on it that was still it was CGI.
But this wasn't terrible.
But I will say that PC was also famous at the time for doing things like what they were doing with Command and Conquer and shit, where it was live action actors.
Well, with this, like I said, the CGI didn't look bad, but this is the start of the game, and you know what? It doesn't look terrible.
Colors are decent.
Right.
I mean, it's all a bunch of grays and shit, but yeah, you're entering a tomb.
You can see the footprints.
Not from her.
No, but from...
It's definitely from, like, the wolves or whatever was in here. Yeah,
right.
That ran out and she had to kill.
And you see their footprints, and that, you know, you can clearly tell that those are animal footprints. So, you know, it doesn't look terrible. I mean, like you said, there's only, like, so many colors showing because you're in a tomb. Now, I'm pretty sure tombs are not full of rainbows.
I think one of my biggest problems
is
the
the
graphics, everything looks like an edge to me.
Right.
Everything. So
right.
I immediately assumed that I could run over there and I could grab that edge, and it didn't work that way. And we're going to get to another part where we discuss why I'm jumping like an idiot here. But in terms of graphics just by themselves, nothing else, I can't say that this game looks bad, maybe even by today's standards. I mean, yeah, if you want to plug it into the fucking HD formula, everything looks bad. But
Right.
I can tell what everything is.
Right. The game, graphically, the game does look pretty good, and it held up pretty well.
I don't know about holding up pretty well. I mean,
Like Bill said, when you
a lot of this stuff blends in together. I mean, to an extent, I'm sure it was meant to do so. You're in a cave.
Well, I mean, I could see that these are different rock formations than this, and these are obviously bricks. They're not actually part of the normal, like, that's left behind from something. You know, the idea of a tomb, an ancient civilization. This is in a cave, but there's obviously structure built here as we move forward. So, I mean, I could tell where different textures exist, and I could see areas of snow and moss, and, I mean, this could look, especially in 96, these games could have looked a lot worse than this.
Right.
I think.
No, they could have. They could have.
Like, because I see the gradual change as I'm moving down the moss, then you come down in here, and then this is more structural. I could tell that this was built, you know? Switches are literally just a polygon hanging out of the wall.
Right, nothing fancy about that, but... Enemies, you know, you can tell that's a bat.
Yeah.
You can tell...
I'm not hating on a bat, I guess.
You can tell the different animals apart.
I can't necessarily hate the graphics. I think the colors are done well. I think that for its time, I could tell what things are. And you're talking about things blending together.
You think that could have been an issue with the TV?
I'm wondering if this is maybe more of an issue with the area. Like, because you mentioned this could be the cave thing. Well, I'm kind of seeing that.
Right.
Like, all they're using is gray color schemes and stuff like that. So you do kind of get this blend. But I could see where stuff is coming out of the floor and everything like that. I mean, 3D games were in their infancy.
Right. Yeah, they were still very new.
I mean, yeah, we'd seen it done a lot with first-person shooter-esque games and things like that, but like the third-person 3D Mario Explorer style type of game, I don't think that this was pretty brand new, wasn't it? I mean, well,
Yes.
What else was like this?
Not too many games that I can think of at all.
Was Alone in the Dark out?
Couldn't tell you.
I think it was. And if Alone in the Dark was out, that's...
Was there any like Silent Hill or anything like that?
No.
Silent Hill.
Resident Evil?
Silent Hill was after this, I'm almost 100% sure.
Resident Evil might. The first one might have been out.
Because if that's the case, then this does look a lot better than the first Resident Evil.
Oh, are you sure? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Resident Evil 1?
In my opinion, I think this looks a lot better. Detail-wise.
Oh, man. I don't know, man. I can't say that. Resident Evil 1 has that atmosphere. You're inside. Like, this is just very gray. And like you said, it could very well be the area, but I think Resident Evil looks better than this. I think Resident Evil was a little more rounded, too. And Resident Evil was around the same time, now that I'm being shown. It was 96 also. So these might have been on each other's heels, but... Can everybody get me some screenshot? Resident Evil? I don't know about that. I feel like Evil looks better. As soon as we get this small comparison, we will move on to our next thing here.
Let me while they're looking that up. What's
Okay,
next? We'll
yeah,
play it.
why not? Yeah, the next thing is gameplay. Well, actually, we added, because now when we see it, we also hear it. And I'm going to give this the big thumbs down on sound.
Really?
I think it feels boring.
I mean, it had its quiet moments where all you hear is her footsteps while she's exploring. But
Here's the. I
it
also
did have random times, like when
I
it
also have a
knew
few
that
more.
trouble was imminent, you would have special soundtracks going.
A little bit of an overkill, though, but it's okay.
What?
It's okay. That bear came out of
That
nowhere.
bear
Kind of an
was
overkill.
asking for it.
You know, those guns have infinite ammo.
But here's 2 screenshots here. I don't know. I wonder if the art styles are way too different.
These
one is
could've-
trying to be dark, and
Well,
one is
looking at it like this, I'd say they're about the same.
yeah. You don't think there's?
I think there's.
He might be on with that because also like
Resident Evil's darker,
yes,
and so it's gonna.
and she was made to be sleeker.
Right.
Like, so you can't really judge it on character models too much either, because a lot of the Resident Evil people, they're bigger people. Like, even Jill back in the first game for Resident Evil, she wasn't like this petite little girl.
You know what? I'll give it to Resident Evil. Because I feel like Part 2 of Tomb Raider looks almost identical to what you're showing me here for Resident Evil 1.
So you're thinking, so we got a point to Resident Evil here.
Which is fine. It was a good game.
Well,
But
in terms of the soundtrack, I'm sorry, I have to say this is ass.
oh, I won't.
I got bored while you were playing it. There wasn't even decent music to listen to. It was just like
Every
her
once in a
walking,
while.
and you heard some footsteps, and then
Gun.
there might be a bat, and then
Gunfire.
yeah, gunfire.
If you go down like a hallway or something where it knows you're going to be running into danger, it'll start a special soundtrack to let you know
But-
ahead of time.
I think music
expect
kind of
it.
adds to the atmosphere, and I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything inspiring when I'm playing the game. I just feel silent. And then,
I'm
like
going
you
to-
said, there's a warning pre-bad guys that kind of sounds all right, but I feel like that was kind of weak.
Alone in the Dark. So Alone in the Dark's graphics are.
Is that the original?
Yes, this
Because
is
the original was a guy. You gotta speak.
PS1. Because the original Alone in the Dark was a PC game.
That's
it was
that's
ancient
exactly.
era, and it looked like ass.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Was
But
Alone
that
in the
was
Dark
a
had already.
PS1 game.
But my question was Alone in the Dark already out? And because that's a game where you walk around and explore a house, this you walk around, you explore a tomb. And
Are you talking about the original PC one? Because,
Yes, and it was out.
That one was out way before this.
Okay. So.
This was the original Alone in the Dark.
Yes.
Ah!
Because I remember it looked really terrible, but it was the one that kind of. It was one of those 3D games where you were walking around in an environment. Like, it was very
That
new for
Alone
its
in the
time.
Dark was out right around the time that the Super Nintendo was coming out, though.
92.
Just to say something.
But soundtrack for me, Bill. I won't lie. Since I don't remember music.
You just seen this game like 20 minutes ago, so if you don't remember the music, it was bad.
I don't remember music. I remember because I remember you walking around. I hear pistols firing. I don't remember
That's
music.
because that's what it is. It's pretty much a silent game.
It's kind of like
This is the game that you would go and put on whatever rock
when we
album you're listening
when
to
we
at the
played
time.
18
jam.
or the Order 1886, and there was no
Jesus
music.
Christ.
And that's a newer age game, and it had no music really because it sucked. I don't remember music.
Oh no, there was music, Shane. There was music. We were in a gunfight. somehow epic music showed up, and then it was just footsteps.
That's always interesting. But so no, the music sucks. Obviously, if you don't remember it, it sucks.
Well then,
Also,
Not
we got
much
a new
music
model
there
for
to
the
suck.
Right.
Truth be told.
we got a new model for the disembodied voice.
after that, we played it.
No, you and Jeremy played it, because the rest of us were smart.
Wow.
Damn.
And
And
I was sleeping while you were playing.
Not only damn.
It handles like Resident Evil with jumping. I will say that.
Okay. If we're in the
In
game,
order to move forward, you
So
hold up.
Resident Evil without the fun. Gotcha.
In order to move forward, you hold up. In order to move backwards, you hold down.
tank
In
control.
order to move left and right, you hit left and right. But it doesn't just move you left and right.
It turns
It
you.
turns you.
Yeah.
Now there is a way to kind of strafe, right?
Yes.
Strafe.
Strife,
You hit
tomato.
L2, you
pizza.
sidestep left.
Tomato,
You hit
tomato.
R2, you sidestep right. Or if you hold R1, you can walk.
Well, seeming strafe and strife are two completely
While
different
holding
meanings.
R1 and walking, if you come to an edge on the floor which you would fall, she stops. She won't continue to walk off the ledge like an ignorant mug, like she does if you're not holding R1.
Yeah, that's my problem too. Climbing things.
All right.
Easy.
Ass.
I will say that controls wise, with your movement and your climbing, the game that's not very good. That's not very good.
I don't think it is either.
And that I will tell you, if anything,
Look, because in every other game that I've played, and
Oh,
yes,
oh,
this
You
is
can tell
comparing
who's
it.
playing now.
This is
now I can tell
comparing
it's
it.
playing.
This is comparing it to something that I guess some people would say is not fair, but it is. Games have changed as we've gone forward, and to go back to this, on every other game that I play, if I jump towards a ledge and it's obvious that I can grab the ledge, she just does it. In this,
It's like a delay.
you can't jump forward if something is in your way. So I'm just jumping straight up, and I'm not grabbing anything because I didn't hit X. But then if you jump and hit X from a standing position, that doesn't work. You have to be on a standing position and hit X, and then she will jump because you hit X. But normally you have to hit square to jump. So that's two different kinds of jumps to grab. Now if you're running and you hit jump, and then you're moving towards a ledge, you have to hit X to grab the ledge. Because it changes the action that she's performing.
So, other than platform,
That's irritating.
besides the movement and platforming, how was the gunplay when you got to shoot creatures?
It pretty much just auto aims and you hold the X button.
So it works.
And then
fine.
you gotta let go of the X button to switch targets.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll continue busting a cap in the same creature forever.
So, that's not terrible.
It works.
Okay.
Especially since the enemies are kind of slow and ignorant. Like they're not really
At the
on
beginning,
that
yes.
ass.
So,
Later on, you fight bigger things that do a lot more damage and will come at you a little more readily.
But you have like side flips and back flips and shit, right?
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, they didn't have the flip somersault in this one like they did in all the other games. I want to say I tried it a couple different times.
Oh, the double jump type of thing?
She would jump in the air like forward or backward.
Right.
And while doing it, you could somersault so that you're facing the way you jumped from.
Oh, no, that was not in this version. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So, yeah. Gameplay-wise, it sucks. Except for the gunplay, which is manageable. The rest of it is just ass.
I just don't think it aged well.
It
Like,
didn't. No.
the control scheme is awful by the standards that we play today, and
Well,
that happens to some old games. Like Mario is a timeless control scheme. It works. It's Mario. You run from left to right, you jump. It's simple. It's never going to get old because they're still using it today. Where this control scheme has gone the wayside. Like no game uses this now. Not even Resident Evil uses this now. And that's a game that was real hardcore about holding on to its origins. Like Resident Evil 1 and 2 and 3. And yes, Even 4, the only thing they changed was the attacking, because you still walked forward by holding up, walked back by holding down, and then you turned left and right by hitting left and right, but had to hold up to move forward while turning. You couldn't just like look this way or look that way. It was a different type of system. It worked like this, but they added the aiming, which changed it just enough that people thought it was this grand new control scheme, and it wasn't. It was still the same thing.
Also had that quick turn.
Which they added in part 3. It's back in circle.
Yeah, makes you turn around faster. Yeah.
And I'll say for the first what was it, 4 or 5 games?
I like how
Tomb
you just
Raider.
smashed your head on the ceiling. Sorry.
The button layouts didn't really change much.
For the games.
Right. It ran off of the very same engine.
That's
the
good
first
for
one
anybody
did.
that remembers Tekken 4.
Don't get me started.
This
This isn't Tekken. This is Tomb Raider.
They
So
changed the control scheme the 4th game in, and he went in being an expert and was a complete fucking noob.
Not completely, but to the point where I had to lower the damn difficulty back down to easy so that I could relearn some stuff.
that's funny.
That's not funny at all.
That was not a problem in any of the Tomb Raiders that I know of. It pretty much, like, yes, the new Tomb Raider follows a new movement, but the rest of it is all very much universal gameplay. Like, you know that you run, you jump, you grab ledges, you climb up. None of that changed throughout any of them that I can think of.
Yeah, the newer ones, she auto-grabs and stuff like that.
Combat got better around Legends, if I'm not mistaken. Otherwise, we deal with the same combat system through all of them also, don't we?
I believe so.
Yes.
Maybe very slight tweaks that you're not going to really notice, but I think that for the most part, at least your PlayStation 1.
Part 2 adds vehicles, right?
Yes. Yes,
There
because you can
might
drive a
have
boat.
been
You can drive a
vehicles.
you can drive a boat in the
Does
second.
Part 1 have vehicles?
There
Ooh.
might have been vehicles in this one. I'm not 100% certain. I never beat this one.
Same here.
I got to like the 2nd level and I was done with it.
Furthest I got in this one was on the anniversary game.
Now, the anniversary one I beat.
Oh, the anniversary is really good.
So this one,
They changed quite a bit.
I got out of this. I remember in the first game, I got past this, and there's a guy that takes the item that you came here for, and
You beat this first cave.
well, there's like 3 or 4 levels involved in this first cave area, but when you get out of it, there's a guy that like shoots at you or something like that. I can't remember, and he takes the treasure from you, and that pretty much sets the storyline in major motion.
Which, if we're done with gameplay.
Are we done with gameplay?
Yeah, there's
Are
not
we
really-
kind of saying thumbs
well,
down?
there's still something to be said about saving.
That's part of gameplay. No, he's right.
You gotta go
There's-
find those crystals.
Yeah, but there's a weirdness to saving in this game.
When you come across a save crystal, if you touch it, like if you activate it to save and decide not to, it disappears. So you either save or you don't.
Yeah.
You can't
And if
take it
you-
with you and save later.
If you walk through it and you don't save, it goes away.
Now,
No
if
save
if
for
you
you.
don't activate it, it's fine. It stays
Oh.
there.
But if you accidentally touch it and you decide that, well, I just saved not that long ago.
Once you
all the
use
time.
it, it's gone. If you save
right.
in a bad place, you're in a bad place.
Wow, that sucks.
There's nothing you can
And
do
if you
about it.
didn't save in
Well-
a bad place, now you're in an even worse place.
Well, basically-
because you have to reload the last save game.
Yeah, if you save too soon, like all this that you're doing right here in this, where he's going to swim down here and get this lever and open this door and change these things, but he's already used his save point. Well, that's it. If he dies, he starts from way back there because there's no other save. It's
Okay,
just
so-
that one time.
So,
Be like if in Final Fantasy VII,
okay,
you got to the little save point, right?
right.
And you used it, and then they deleted it from the game.
Oh, I'd be
You've
pissed.
already saved. Now you have to beat this part.
I'd be pissed.
That's
okay.
The Tomb Raider
Okay,
one.
well, when we just talked about how shitty the gameplay was, when you brought that in, you didn't help its cause. You just solidified the fact that the gameplay is awful.
It's the way they increased difficulty.
That is sad.
It's the way they increase difficulty.
You could have made it difficult any other way. That's just being a dick. Okay.
It's obvious that the control scheme works for this game. I mean, you see
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something.
he's a lot more practiced than
When 96,
look.
when I first played this game,
That's a door.
It's a floor design.
That's a door.
It's not a damn door.
It's a door.
when I played this game back when I was a kid, it took me a few minutes. It took me a little bit to get used to the controls, and then bam, figured it out. I actually did like the Tomb Raider games. You know, played them a lot. And once again, I never beat any because I sucked at them, but I at least tried. And now,
Look at me pulling this block the wrong way.
and now that we've been spoiled with how gaming is nowadays, going back and trying to attempt to play something like this.
Well, some games they don't age well, and that I mean, there's I can still play Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. I can do it. And I still enjoy it, and I still feel like there are parts in it where I'm like, this is some creepy shit. But there are some games that as they move forward, they changed so much that it is tough to go back. I mean, this game, it's hard to tell what some stuff is. Like, when we first walked into this room here, the one before this one, I told him, I said, that right there is a switch. And he says, no. And I was like, yes, it is. And he said, so then he looks around the room for a minute, and then he's like, oh, I think that's a switch. And I'm like, I told you that's a switch, but, because he says there's something sticking out of that wall. So, like, it's hard to tell, and me and him are still fighting about this part right here. I don't remember this game well.
Neither do
But
I.
the graphics, the way the squares are right here,
Yeah.
circling this area,
Yeah.
I think that thing right there is a door.
It's not a door.
I think that there's a switch somewhere,
The
and
thing
since he
about
couldn't
this-
figure out where to go,
Everything about this game, if
Look
it
at
was
that.
interactive in any way, it was animated.
But
the
look,
shading
it's-
is different.
but it
Look
is
at the
different
block.
than the rest of the floor.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
The shading is not. You could tell the difference.
Shane, if you walk, you've
Look
never
at this
played
block.
this. You
Look at
never
how
played
different
this.
it looks from the walls. Does it look brighter?
Look at that space on the floor. You think you can open that?
Ooh, there's wood underneath. It looks like there's wood underneath.
Listen,
You think no?
it's a flat
Do you
floor
think you
graphic.
can open it? Do you think you could open that? You think there's a switch that opens that weird one space on the floor?
Well,
Because I think it looks like a door.
And I'm
And that-
telling you from
and
all my
that's-
many years of tomb raiding
And
experience.
I'm telling you from
it is
playing
not
a lot
door.
of games and referencing graphics that
It's there
that
to throw
looks,
you off.
And if it's there to throw me off, then the graphics are once again not that great because I can't tell what's a door and what's just supposed to be the floor.
And
Okay.
that's just you.
okay.
That looks like a door.
Looks like
Does
a
it look
spot
like
on
you
the
could
floor.
open that? Honest question. Do you think you could open that floor right there? Does that look like that's going to open?
What, the center part right there?
Yes.
It looks like something you fall through, not open.
But it looks like you could do something with it.
Something, yes.
What does that thing look like? Does it look like you should just walk right past it? That means nothing?
Well, I kind of don't think he should walk past it. I kind of agree with Scott. It does look like something from like Zelda, where you can just jump down and it breaks.
I think it looks like it is specifically angled out from the rest of the graphics so that your eyes notice it so you say, hey, that's the door.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
you
ever-
can keep thinking that all you want. You'll be stuck in this cave forever.
Please, if somebody has played this recently or just remembers it well, is that thing a door? There. Somebody knows.
Now.
Somebody will tell you you're
with
wrong.
gameplay?
Can't wait for YouTube to light you up.
So, gameplay, yay or nay?
I
For
think
its
it works.
time,
I think it works
yay.
for the game.
But now we're talking now.
Oh, now?
Now
No.
that we've went back and it's damn near 20 years.
It is true. If we're talking the legacy of video games, would you tell somebody go buy
The original Tomb Raider, or if you can find an emulator, a PS1 emulator, I suggest you sit down and play this game.
No,
Would
I
you
don't.
recommend it?
No, absolutely not.
it is tough to recommend.
I wouldn't either.
I would say start with 2.
2 refined it a little bit,
Yeah.
I think. We're
2
not there yet, but I think it did.
We're going to have a lot more positive things to say about 2.
But this
And that
does
was an
happen.
epic fail.
Some games do have to go through this. That, like, okay, one game series in general that's famous for this is like the Budokai series. Dragon Ball Z is almost always released in 3s. And the first game is usually a test, like Budokai 1. It gets the fundamentals of what you're going to be doing. Part 2 starts to shape some of the special areas of the game, and Part 3 is almost always the game you buy. Tenkaichi Budokai 3, that's a great game. The other 2 are building blocks.
But if you want to play a really good one, play Budokai 2. It's Bill's favorite. He loves the board game.
No, but Budokai 3 is actually one of my all-time favorite Dragon Ball Z games.
I know, but I said Budokai 2.
I know.
Did
But I think that a lot of games go through this. They get the standard idea here at the start.
Basically, I'm gonna go with if I played this 20 years ago, I'd have said it's different. Now, I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. But with that being said, now we have to move on to story.
This is where it gets difficult. This is very much Indiana Jones. That was the whole point to this game.
Female Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Like, they hired her to do something, to come in here and get an artifact. She's supposed to be like the best. And then she comes in here and she gets it, and then they double cross her to like take it, and there's some sort of supernatural thing going on where that woman wants to get like the powers of a god or some shit. It's very much like Indiana Jones, where he's in the real world, but he's dealing with supernatural situations.
Yeah.
And I want to say all of them are like that, because Part 2, I think the final guy, you fight a dragon.
Part 2, yes, you fight the dragon at the end.
See, I think all of them
Don't you
are
fight,
like that.
you fight dinosaurs in this one?
In this, yeah, you
Yes.
fight giant dinosaurs. There's like a giant fucking T-Rex
T-Rex.
at one point, and raptors, and
So,
like it always deals with like forgotten worlds and supernatural things. Like the new one dealt with the wind god or sun god or whatever it was, right?
the sun god. God
Kimiko?
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yes. Okay, I won't. Okay.
Here he's saving. See, now watch, it'll go away.
And if I had chose
gone.
not to save, it still would have went away.
That's
Right.
That's ignorant.
That's your only fucking chance right
That
there.
is so stupid.
Now I could have left it alone and come back to it later.
Right. But still, that's dumb.
But you don't know when your next opportunity to save is going to be.
Right.
That's true, and you could go forward and die.
Yeah.
You could come right out here, walk across this, the thing could shake or something and fall, and there could be spikes. That's it. You wasted your opportunity to save.
Story-wise, though, I believe that
I want to say all of them were pretty good.
they all had,
They weren't necessarily like,
groundbreaking, but
yeah,
anybody who's a fan of Indiana Jones and what he did in those movies, essentially, that's kind of what you're doing in these games. You're an archaeologist / tomb raider.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are
the
enlightening me, sir.
description!
Yeah. Raiding tombs.
That description.
For artifacts. Yeah. Archaeology.
Wow.
But the story wasn't terrible. There's nothing bad. There's nothing bad about them. Nothing bad. I mean, I don't know what to say. You fucking go into tombs.
It's fine. It's fine. Now, we have to give a score to this here rating of tombs, especially since we've reached the part of the video now where Jeremy just wanders in circles for like half an hour.
It's true. That door back there that I just passed, it can't be opened.
It's because you opened the door in the other room.
Shut your whore mouth.
This is going to be a debate going on all night, probably. Is that a door? Is that not a door?
YouTube's going to solve this for us.
It's a door. Come on, YouTube. It's a door.
All right. Bill, why don't you start it off, man?
Oh man, I don't think it really holds up by today's standards. I think that for the most part, if you're curious, you could play it. But this is one of those only if you're a fan. This is a 2.
Jer?
I'm actually going to go a little bit lower than that. I'm going to
wow.
say 1.7. Simply because, by comparing it to the other the other games, this was the worst in the series in my opinion.
Especially the monster that came out recently.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to say, wow, this stuff. 2. Because the story wasn't terrible, and it didn't look too bad. I will. I understand that it didn't play very well. Controls took forever to get used to, but I didn't do well in Resident Evil, so I had problems with those controls.
We are leaving Tomb Raider 1 for the PS1 with a 1.9.